Hey, hello, my fellow real estate investors. It's Marc Cunningham at Grace Property Management. Let me address a question that we hear from time to time. That is simply this. Do I, as a property manager or as a real estate investor, do I have to rekey my property, change the locks between tenants? Tenant A moves out. Do I need to do something with that lock before tenant B moves in? Now, this may appear like a kind of a silly question, but I think the answer may surprise you. So let's look at it from two different angles. Let's look at it from the practical angle and then the legal side of things as well. So this here is a recent edition. It's a few years old now, 2019, the Colorado Real Estate Manual. And if you can see there, this is a big, heavy, fat book. They don't even tell you how many pages are in here because it's chapter broken out and 26 chapters. I see page 90, 86 on chapters. Like, it's huge. It covers all the rules that we in Colorado have to follow. Not all the rules, some of the rules. Because in addition to this, our legislature passes a lot of rules. Now, this is the 2021 book, and it's gotten a lot thinner. You say, well, did they remove rules? Are there less rules to follow? No. Actually, they just decided there were so many new rules to be put in, they stopped printing all the rules that we, as real estate professionals, as licensees in Colorado, have to follow. So this doesn't include everything because there was just too much to put in the book. Now, believe it or not, I've read every page of this book, and I've studied this stuff. Our legislature has a whole nother set of rules that isn't in this book, but it requires us as licensees, as property managers licensed in the state of Colorado, rules and legislature laws we must follow. It covers everything from bed bugs to maintenance to discrimination to you name it. Like, there are a lot of rules that we as professional property managers and as licensees must follow. But can you believe that in that big fat book and in all the things the legislature has addressed, unless I missed it somewhere, and I don't think I have, that legally you do not have to rekey a property between tenants? They talk about a lot of stuff. There is a lot of rules we have to follow. But this has never come up. Now, I wish our legislature would put this in place because it protects tenants. But legally speaking, as of the time of this video, there is no requirement that you as a property manager or as a real estate investor change the locks, rekey locks between tenant A moving out and tenant B moving in, legally. Now, what about practically? Should you do it practically? Yes, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. What about ethically? I think absolutely you should be doing that. In the liability side as well. Because if you lean on this and you say, you know what, legally I don't have to do it, I'm okay. Let's look at the practical side. What conceivably could happen if a tenant is in your property and they move out and you get the property rent ready and a new tenant moves in and you didn't rekey the property because legally you didn't have to? And what if that ex-tenant had given a copy of the key to somebody who probably shouldn't have had a copy of that key, and that person comes back and just goes into the property with the key, their old key, which still works, and they walk in on the new tenant living in there. Maybe they do something, maybe they steal something. That's a bad situation because practically that's going to get bad. Ethically, I think you are way out of bounds as a property manager by not rekeying that property. And the liability of that, if a lawsuit happens and you as the property manager or as the real estate owner did not rekey the property, I think you're going to have some liability issues that come into place there. So every once in a while, we'll talk to a landlord who says, I don't want to rekey the property. To which we reply, well, we're going to rekey the property. Why? Because it's ethically right. It's morally right. Liability side, practically, we need to do that. So our clients, if you're one of our clients, don't worry. We do this on your behalf. We get this done for your protection and for ours. If you're a tenant, you make sure your landlord has rekeyed the property by the time the last tenant moved out, so you have a little bit of security there to know there's no keys floating around out there on your property. Hey, it's a short topic, but it's an important one. If we can be of service to you as a tenant or as a real estate owner investor, feel free to reach out to us. Jump on our website, rentgrace.com. We are happy to provide any information we can.